Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 16 of The Road to Glory with Kyla Adams, and of course, Summit Wrestling. Now, there are a few things we need to sort of discuss. Well, I'm going to discuss with you. Now, our popularity is 32 in the Mid-South. Now, we need to hit 47 importance in 2 regions. And what I'm thinking is, while we're doing the 47 importance in the 2 regions, we also want to try and work towards getting a TV deal at some stage. Now, we can either try and go the popularity route, getting on a broadcast station here, one of these ones. Obviously, we'll filter it to the US. So one of these ones, right? Or we have the option to try and make as much money as possible in the hope that we can create our own broadcaster to be in the US. Now, I probably don't want to go tiny. I think very small would probably be where we want to try and aim for at the very least. So that's 15.5 million we need to try and work towards. Now that's a lot of money. That is definitely a lot of money. However, we are running 9 shows per month. And once the economy does eventually start to rise, I feel like the money that's going to be coming in, it's going to be a lot higher, obviously, than what we're sort of used to at the moment. Anyway, these are the regional battles. As you can see, in the Mid-South, we are actually up against CZCW, who do have spillover due to them being in the Southwest. Now, if we have a look at their history, as you can see, they're putting on really good shows. C- rated shows. I don't think we're going to be able to beat them in the immediate future. In the long run, of course, we're going to, I would say, overtake them. And there we are in the Southwest as well. So we're also up against CZCW, but we're also up against AAA, Angel Athletic Association, which is the other women's wrestling federation in America. So they're going to be quite difficult to beat. Obviously, the Mid-South is our region that we're going to try. It's going to be our main focus. All of our big events are going to be held in the Mid-South, the end-of-month events. However, I'm thinking that we need to start trying to at least, run one of the shows, either Survivor or Uprising, and run one of those in another region. Now, if we look at the broadcasting, there are quite a few that we will never sort of be able to get onto. Well, you would think so, at least for the immediate future. I mean, very, very long term, we'll be able to possibly be a national company. We'll just have to wait and see with that. But we do have these options here as well. Because we are in the Mid-South, it does actually cover our home region, which is usually a pretty big downfall. As you can see here, we need to be a cult company. So if we become cult, we get a relatively good TV deal. Obviously, it's actually better in Mexico than it is in the US, but we have options, is what I'm trying to say. Similar sort of thing there with the Canal Uno, when you become national. Just going down here, we got East Coast Today. Now, they want 42 popularity in 3 regions, and as you can see, there's only 3 regions there. So, that one's going to be a little bit tougher. Or, I would say it's more or less out of the realm of possibility to try and get on that channel. We go down a little bit further. We have this one. Similar sort of thing compared to the other Mexican channel. This one, however, needs 44 popularity in 3 regions. So, again, similar sort of thing. you know, to get 44 popularity in these regions. I mean, we can probably do the Southwest. Obviously, the Mid-South is done. But then we would have to, I would assume, go into Mexico because Puerto Rico is very, very tough to get popularity in. And then finally, we have this guy, Los Deporte Hoy. Now, they want 30 popularity in another 3 regions. Now, that's a little bit easier to get. But as you can see, tiny in the US, well, the Mid-South, Southwest, and Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is counted as the US in this game. And then, of course, we've got the 3 Mexican regions there as well. This one seems a little bit easier because obviously we got the Mid-South, that's already done. We already have the popularity. If we went to the Southwest, you know, that's 2 birds, 1 stone to an extent. If we get 30 popularity, we can then try and gain 30 popularity in Mexico as well. It's a possibility. That's probably our best option at the moment for a channel there. We can always try and, I mean, you got these ones, as you can see, regional 30E plus in 8 regions, which is, you know, relatively tough to do. And that one's cult, as you can see. So most of them are cult, either cult or national. This one's regional, but again, this one actually wants 35 popularity in all 12 regions in the US, which I think is... Actually, it might even be... Hold on, how many regions are there in the US? I think you might actually need 1 region in Canada as well. So as you can see, it's going to be very difficult to actually get onto a channel. At least, yeah, at least for a little while anyway. That's why I was thinking that the best option for us would be to try and save up money, get our own broadcaster. I mean, 15 million, it seems ridiculously high, and I would agree with that. But I mean, over the course of a year, with our popularity increasing, I mean, who knows what could happen. Anyway, last episode was a really good one. I was really happy with it. Kyler had some massive improvements in his stats as well. Hopefully you saw the end of stats screen. But he's almost starting to look like a top level talent, if that makes sense. You know, his psychology, basically all of his performance stats are really starting to come good. Anyway, for the rest of this month, I think we're going to stick to the Mid-South. I do need to try and work out which other region I want to venture into. And when I do that, I want to go to a region that has high importance for wrestling, obviously, in the industry, in the region, sorry. High wrestling industry. Yeah. You know, Tri-State would be my first thought, but then again, we'll have regional battles against New York City. So that could throw a bit of a spanner in the works. Anyway, tonight's main event, or for the first show, is going to be Ernest Youngman taking on Mobstar. And realistically, I would actually like to put Callie Slick on commentary for this match, if he's relatively good. Only a 16 F plus. But I think we'll throw him in there anyway. Then we need another match with Callie Slick. And we'll have him take on... he can take on Canadian Crusher. I think that'll be a good match, 10 minutes. Obviously, Callie Slick, the leader of the Long Beach Mafia. All right, so let's have the ring generals. It's going to be a pretty expensive show, this one. And they can take on Kyla Adams and Hideo Kato. 12 minutes, Dean walled off to get the victory. Hideo can take the loss. There we go. All right, we'll check one more match. I think we'll try and use some of the originals. Let's go with Samael taking on Rob Reynolds. And of course, that's going to allow us to get a nice menace promo there from Samael. All right. We want to have an Ernest Youngman promo. Chucking on entertainment there. And then we're going to have an angle after the main event as well. We're going to have Ernest, and he's going to be attacked by Mobstar and Cali Slick after the match. So there we go. So Ernest is beat down after the match. And that's what this is going to do. It's going to set up a tag team match for the next event in which basically Ernest needs to find a partner to take on the Long Beach Mafia. Now, I would like to chuck in another angle here, but we might have to get rid of this match. Chuck it to 8 minutes, and I'll reduce this down to 10. Yeah, we can chuck in another angle. There we go. All right, let's go with Kyla and Jenny. And we'll chuck Giddy in there as well. We'll chuck the ring generals in there. They don't need to speak. It's not too necessary. I mean, their entertainment stats are dreadful. But that is because they're the ring generals, you know? They're not supposed to be decent on the microphone. They're just supposed to get it done in the ring. Alright, so we start off with a 43D. We've got Canadian Crusher improving in performance skills as he's beaten by Cali Slick in 9:33 by pinfall with a slickback. He was also off his game there as well. We then go into a 39D-. We got Kyla and Giddy with Jenny cutting a promo onto the ring generals. The match does pretty well, 50D+. We got the ring generals defeating Kyla Adams and Giddy Kato in 9:55 when Dean beat Giddy by pinfall with a wheelbarrow bomb. And Giddy was the weak link. Yeah, interesting to see both Marv and Dean getting 50 in-ring performances. Kyla with a 49, so right on par with the ring generals at the moment. We then go into a 52D+. We've got Samael the Accuser defeating Rob Reynolds in 8:25 by pinfall with a Poison of God. We then go into a 45D rated angle from Ernest Youngman for the main event. The main event gets a 60C. We got Ernest Youngman defeating Mobstar in 2019 by pinfall with the hit. Ernest with a 60 in-ring performance. We also have Ernest improving in Rumble skills. I'm assuming that's due to the 72 brawling from Mobstar. And the final angle, also getting a 60C. We've got the Long Beach Mafia, Mobstar, and Cali Slick. And they're basically beating Ernest Youngman after he's just won his match. And yeah, Cali gets on the mic and basically says, we're going to verse you next week in a tag team match. Well, not next week, but at the next event. Make sure you have a partner or we're going to absolutely destroy you like we have just now. Overall show rating getting a 45D. Again, increasing the popularity, which is exactly what we need. Basically, we're going to keep We're going to keep going in the Mid-South until the point where we're not gaining any popularity from our shows. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start venturing out, at least for 4 shows a month, I would say. I think 4 shows is a decent little amount. And that should gain popularity, you know, relatively quick, especially at such a low level. And the other 5 shows, you know, as well as the big event, they're all going to be held in the Mid-South, and hopefully the attendances from that will at least make up for the possible money that we're going to lose by running in a different region with no fans, basically. That's my thought process on it, anyway. Alright, so let's book that tag match. We'll go with the Long Beach Mafia. And of course, they're taking on Ernest Youngman. And his tag team partner is actually going to be Tyler Adams. You know, he's the type of kid, or young man, should we say, that is always going to have the back of certain people, even if they do him wrong. Even if they do him wrong. I'm thinking we can probably call this match as well. Yeah, we're going to call it in ring. Apparently Mobstar's unhappy, so what we're going to do, hopefully Ernest will... He's still unhappy, that's interesting. Okay, well, we're going to give Kelly Slick the victory. And I guess Tyler can take the loss. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. No no sort of morale issues coming up because it's Kyler. Anyway, next we're going to have Seth Whitehead taking on... Let's go with Takano. Non-title match. 10 minutes. Seth to get a victory. And then we'll have another match here. We'll have Cobra taking on Sunny Wildside. Actually, we just did this match recently, didn't we? We'll go Felipe. Actually, we'll go someone else. We'll go Kid Fantastic. It's pretty curious to see how well this match will do, considering they both have really good flashiness. We'll do a tag team match as well. We'll go El Mitico and Samael to take on Logan and Marcel. El Mitico can get the victory. Marcel can take the loss. Alright, there we go. Let's book our angles. So we want to have Kelly Slick, Mobstar, Ernest, and Kyla. With Jenny, we'll keep throwing her in. What's her popularity? Hasn't really gone up, has it? I find that very strange. All the promos that we've done, and her popularity is still at an F15. It's almost like it's capped at that level. So strange. I mean, essentially, she might actually be holding Kyla back from hitting really high ratings. Because of course his popularity has grown. And he's up to a decent level, so quite strange. Let's take her out of it. Let's have a look. I want to see what happens. Alright, so there we go. That's going to be an interesting test. Anyway. Next one, we'll go with Avalanche Decano and Seth Whitehead. Basically, Avalanche is putting his name forward, trying to get a victory. To get into the 6-man match for the North American title at the big event. And finally, let's do El Mitico and Samael. Perfect, there we go, 75 minutes. And let's run the show. Alright, so we start off with a 44D for Sunny Wildside defeating Kid Fantastic in 8:39 by pinfall with a Fear Factor. Not a bad match again by Sunny. You know, he's doing job. He's doing a decent job. Like I said, I don't want to push him too quick. Even though recently he's been smashing it. We then go to the Luchadors, the El Mitico Jr. and Semi the Accuser angle. It's a 57 C-. Their tag team match does really well, 53 C-. We got El Mitico and Samael defeating Logan Wolfsbane and Marcel Lefleur in 9:56 when El Mitico defeated Marcel by pinfall with a Northern Light suplex. Really good match. We then actually go into another 54 C-. We've got Avalanche Decano, like I said, putting his name, you know, into the limelight for that 6-man match. He wants a spot, and he says that he's gonna beat Seth Whitehead tonight in order to prove to everybody that he deserves to be there. The match gets a 56 C-. We've got Seth Whitehead defeating Avalanche Decano in 10:28 by submission with a Minnesota stretch. The main event angle gets a 54 C-. I think we need to leave Jenny out of these angles from now on. I think she might be hampering the popularity growth for Kyla. Anyway, pretty good, 54 C-. We also have Ernest learning to develop. He's developing better performance skills, which I assume is either coming off Kyla, because it's probably not coming from Callie Slick. The main event does really well. I think that's our 3rd best match ever, maybe 4th. 61 C. We got the Long Beach Mafia defeating Ernest Youngman and Kyla Adams in 2025 when Callie Slick defeated Kyla Adams by pinfall with a slick back. And we also have Kyla improving in flying skills. Yeah, really good match though. That's a solid main event. Overall show rating getting a 46D, so 1 point higher than the last show. Very nice to see. Alright, so yeah, that's nothing. Popularity is still the same. I did want to do that test, but I completely forgot to follow along. So let's have a look. I want to see the popularity gain. Alright, so we're at 32.7. in the Mid-South. 32.7. I need to try and remember that as we go into this next show. All right, nice. Kelly Slick improving his behavior. Always important. All right, so this main event will go with El Midico, and he can take on. Has he versed Samael yet? I don't know if they have actually versed each other. They have. I think we're going to do it. We're going to do it as the main event. And the winner of this match goes into the 6-man title match at the big event. So there's that. Then we'll have another match. We'll have Venomous Death taking on Angel of Mercy and Kyle Adams. And the winners of this match go into the 6-man match as well. So a few things are taking form at the moment. And same for this one. The winner of this match goes in as well. Let's leave it blank, because I don't really care who goes in out of this match. I'm not really, like, trying to put a damper on these two guys, but they're more or less going to be fillers for that match as well. And finally, one more match to determine the final participant. I think that's... How many is that? I'm just trying to think. Who else did we have? So we'll get Kelly Slick. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. Let's have a menace angle for Samael. We'll have an entertainment angle here for Kelly Slick. Again, we want him to be the mouthpiece of the Long Beach Mafia, so improving these is pretty imperative at the moment. We need to reduce this one by 1 minute. We'll work the crowd from it as well. And then we need Angel of Mercy and Kyla Adams. All right, there we go. Let's run this show. So we started with a 54 C-. We got Sunny Wildside defeating Felipe Caballero in 9:29 by pinfall with a Fear Factor. Interesting. I mean, you know, his momentum's still going strong, and now he's found himself in the main event of the big event at the end of the month in that 6-man match for the title. So interesting. We then go to a 52D plus from Angel of Mercy and Kyle Adams' angle. They're going a lot better without Jenny. It's unfortunate, but that's just what it is at the moment. We then go to the tag match, and it gets a 53C minus, so 1 point higher than the angle before it. Angel of Mercy and Kyla Adams defeating Venomous Death in 9:38, when Kyla defeated Avalanche Takano by pinfall with a K trigger. We also have Cobra improving in flying skills. So yeah, Angel of Mercy and Kyle Adams go into the match. We then go into a 59C rated angle from Callie Slick. That's really good. Interesting. Okay, I'm happy with that. His match gets a 59C as well. We've got Callie Slick defeating Austin Smooth in 10:25 by pinfall with a slick back. And we also have Austin improving in rumble skills. Again, the brawling from Callie Slick's really good, so it's rubbing off quite a lot. Well, between him and Mobster. We then go to a 77B rated Menace angle from Samael. It's our highest. That's our first ever B, and our highest ever angle. The main event also getting a 59C, which is, you know, it's decent. And I'm glad we managed to equalize the previous match on the card. So we got Samael the Accuser defeating El Mitico Jr. in 20 minutes 29 seconds by pinfall with a Poison of God. And we also have Samael improving in performance skills, so El Mitico's helping him get even better. And yeah, so that's Samael into the main event as well. The Gold Rush. Just going to pre-book it in here, because otherwise I'll probably forget. So we got Angel of Mercy, Callie Slick. Where is he? Tyler Adams. Samael the Accuser. Sunny Wildside. And the champion, Seth Whitehead. It's going to be a very interesting match, and I'm actually going to leave it blank for the winner, so I'm pretty curious to see who's going to win. And wow, I'm pretty sure that's our best ever show rating, a 49D plus from that Uprising. Really good. I mean, at this rate, if we keep hitting D pluses, it's going to be quite some time before we venture out into another region. But that's perfect. You know, I can't complain. The higher the rating, the better it is. And, you know, it's a similar sort of thing. The longer we stay in the Mid-South, the more money we're going to make. So it's kind of a win-win sort of situation. Now, I'm going to do some interesting things here. This next show, we're going to do a triple threat tag team match for the main event. And it's going to be all 6 competitors for that 6-man match at Gold Rush. Just want to see how that's going to, or at least see how the dynamic is and what sort of rating they can all pull together. It's sort of just a little bit of a test run. We've got some backstage incidents here. I mean, I'm almost getting to the point where I want to fire Marcel. And we once again have Callie Slick improving his behavior, which is perfect. Oh, I forgot to check the popularity again. Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm really frustrated at myself for not doing that. Anyway, we're up to 33, so it went up. So I have to assume it was over 3, which is interesting. Or it was at least 3. So if it's, what, 33.3 after this show, then I'm assuming that it's 3.3 popularity off of each show still. Anyway, let's do Mobstar, and he can take on Marv Statler. Yeah, we'll just give it 12 or 10. Tainted victory there. Then we'll do the triple threat. So Callie Slick will be aligned with... Who will he be aligned with? That's a good question. Seth. I think that's a good idea. Let's align those two. They're not going to win because there'll be a lot of conflict and fighting between the two. Of course, Long Beach Mafia and The Suffering. They're sort of in a bit of a storyline at the moment. Then we'll have Samael, and he can team up with Kyla. Actually, let's go Angel of Mercy and Samael. And then finally Kyla and Sunny. I mean, they're pretty much made tag teams. I mean, you got the Luchadors from Mexico there in Samael and Angel of Mercy. And then, of course, Kyla and Sunny. Sort of, you know, they're not an actual tag team, but they have tag team or tagged with each other many times before. Let's go Angel of Mercy to get the victory, and Sunny can get the loss. I think I want to call it as well. Yeah, his popularity's gone up to a 72. That's good to see. The only one I'm really worried about is Seth. Yeah, that 62C got me a little bit worried. Just a little bit. Anyway, we'll try it out. I don't think it's going to matter too much. In this other match, we'll have El Mitico, and he can take on... yeah, he can take on Crusher. Let's give him a victory back in his name. And we'll do one more singles match. We'll have Logan take on Ralph Liotta. Good old Ralph. And I think we'll chuck that one first. Work the crowd with it as well. Then we want to do the main event angle. So go Samael first. Angel of Mercy on Entertainment. Then we'll have Seth and Callie Slick. And then finally we'll have Kyla and Sunny. Yeah, that works. Then we'll have a menace angle from Mobster. Yeah, I think that works. We're already up to 72 minutes, so we can't really do another angle there. So we start the show off with a pretty bad rating, actually, a 36 D-. We've got Logan Wolfsbane defeating Ralph Liotta in 940 by pinfall with a belly-to-belly suplex. We then go to a 47D. We got El Mitico Jr. defeating Canadian Crusher in 1027 by pinfall with a Northern Light suplex. We then go to a 54C- for Mobstar's Menace angle. His match, also pretty bad. 38 D minus is not going to be a good show. We've got Mobstar defeating Marv Statler in 9:54 by pinfall with a handful of tights. Mobstar was off his game, and then Mobstar and Marv Statler just don't click at all. So negative chemistry there. We then get a 53 C minus for the main event angle. And the main event itself comes back a little bit, getting us a 59 C, which is pretty decent. We got Samael the Accuser and Angel of Mercy defeating Seth Whitehead and Callie Slick and Kyla Adams and Sunny Wildside in 2020. The order of elimination was Kyla and Sunny first, and then Seth and Callie Slick. We also have Callie Slick improving in performance skills, so that's pretty good to see going into the big event. Alright, so overall show rating getting us a 43D, which is down 3 points, but it's actually better than I thought it would be, considering we had 2 D minus matches on that card. So all's not too bad. Anyway, let's check the popularity of the company, because I've been wanting to do that for a while now. Okay. All right, let's have a look. All right, so the popularity is 33.2, which is even more confusing because it's 0.1 less than what I thought it would be. So we've gained 0.5. I'm assuming we only gained 0.2 for that show. Or even yeah, it'd have to be 0.2. And then I think maybe because we got a D plus rated show, that might have been 0.3. That's what I'm thinking anyway. But yeah, let's we've got one more show to book before Gold Rush. And I'm looking forward to it. Actually, you know what? Before we get into Gold Rush, I would like to try and hire a color commentator. Just want to have a look at everybody, see if there are any new people. Wow, Doc Messing, 60C is only 600 per show. $68C plus for Elijah Harris. Grace could be a good option as well. Do we get Max Smith, the Australian? I mean, he's 72. He's only 900 per show as well. I think we might go with Max Smith. Obviously, I'm Australian, so we'll get Max Smith on commentary. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Max Smith. 100%. And he only wants 800 per appearance as well. Basically 100 less than he thought he wanted. There we go. 29-year-old Max Smith, the Australian, coming into the company. Yeah, Marcel's really damaging our backstage rating at the moment. It's gone down to 60. Alright, boosted it back up to 61 with that rib. Alright, so tonight's main event, again, very similar to the previous show, where, actually, no, let's not do that. Let's do a... We'll do a 3-on-3. And we'll do Cali Slick, Mobstar, and Rob Reynolds taking on Samael and the Suffering. And we'll have Seth get the victory onto Rob. Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty good main event. And of course, having Samael and Seth Whitehead on the same team after their recent title matches, I feel like that's a pretty good story in its own right. The next match we'll have Kyler, and he can take on Ralph. I'm going to try and pass his amazing stamina over. I mean, the one real thing we need to work on with Kyler is probably his selling, so probably want to have a look through and just, I mean, Bob Casey. We should just, I mean, let's do it. Going old school. It's going to be a bad rated match, but we'll do it anyway. Kyle Adams taking on Bob Casey. Bit of a tune-up match before the pay-per-view, or the big event. Then we'll have another couple of singles matches. We'll just go one more singles match. Let's have Ernest Youngman take on Ralph. Yeah, I like that match. Of course, gives Ralph a little chance of something to do for him. I do like Ralph Liotta. I think he could be a decent talent, man. He's so young, and he's actually not that bad for a 21-year-old. I mean, a couple more matches with Kyler, and that psychology would probably shoot up. I mean, he's never going to be a star because he doesn't have the star quality for it, but I mean, he's got the stamina to be a really good worker. So we'll try and develop him as best we can. And I mean, going up against Ernest Youngman is definitely going to help his cause. I think that's all we're going to do for this show. I don't want to put too many more people onto the card, but we're going to go with Samael, Felipe, and then finally Seth to just get us over before the main event. Then we're going to have an angle after the main event as well. And basically, it's going to be Kelly Slick and Mobstar, and they're going to be beating up Rob Reynolds for costing them the match. You know, Rob. The story behind this match is Rob basically volunteers to be their third member of their 6-man tag match. Says that he wants to join the Mafia, the Long Beach Mafia. Kelly Slick says, you know, show us what you got tonight in the main event, and if we win the match, then we'll consider you. And obviously, he cost them the match, so therefore, Mobstar's gonna basically beat the ever-living crap out of him. And we're not gonna rate him on anything there. So yeah, there we go. That's going to be after the match. And then finally, we need promos for Kyler and for Ernest. Perfect. All right. Let's run the show. It is the go home show as well. And we start off with a 55 C- angle from Kyler. A lot better without Jenny. We then go into a 41D, which is actually not too bad. We've got Kyler Adams defeating Bob Casey in 956 by pinfall with a K trigger. A match as old as time since the start of the series. You know, Bob Casey, he's been a relatively good owner, let's be real. We could have got a lot worse. And of course, he was pretty much road agenting from the start as well. And I mean, a lot of his performance stats have actually rubbed off onto Kyler, so I'm pretty thankful for getting him. We then go into a 47D for Ernest Youngman's promo. His match with Ralph getting a 46D. We got Ernest defeating Ralph Liotta in 10-24 by pinfall with the hit. And we also have Ralph Liotta improving in performance skills. So it's exactly what we wanted and what I was talking about before. We then go into a 58 C-. We got the team of Samael, Felipe, and Seth. Basically, Samael looking scary and menacing as always. And then we have we have Felipe trying to convince Seth to work with Samael, despite Samael's incessant, wanting to get his title back. And the recent title matches between the two. Of course, Samael losing the title, and then, in his rematch, losing again when Seth beat him for the second time. And of course, he gets another chance in that 6-man match, so it's going to be interesting. And the main event gets another 61C. Seems to be a pretty common rating, along with 59C. But we have Samael the Accuser and the Suffering defeating Rob Reynolds and the Long Beach Mafia in 1945 when Seth Whitehead defeated Rob Reynolds by submission with a Minnesota stretch. And as per the storyline, Rob Reynolds was the weak link. So there we go. We also had Mobstar off his game, which is a little bit frustrating, but that's fine. And the final segment or angle, getting us a 56 C-. We've got Kelly Slick and Mobstar basically beating the crap out of Rob Reynolds. Mobstar, hitting his finisher, whatever it is. It's the some sort of DDT, isn't it? Yeah, something like that. And that's the overall show rating. Getting a 45D for us. Pretty similar to what we've been getting recently, so I'm happy with that. And as you can see, still increasing the popularity. And we're about to go into Gold Rush. Gold Rush will be the last show of the episode as well. Or the last event. Unfortunate that we're not going to get our color commentator in before the show. I was hoping that he would come in. Oh, we might actually get him in. Yes, Max Smith. There we go. Perfect. Hopefully he's going to help the matches even more. So we'll get him onto the commentary team. The color commentator, announcers, Max Smith. There we go. Alongside Steve Dougal. That's unfortunate. Backfired rib. Economy's still at a 24E and falling. I'm thinking it's probably going to go to 0 and then start rising. So that sucks. But anyway. All right, let's well, we already have it pre-booked, don't we? At our 6-man match, we'll give it 20 minutes for the North American title. And it's going to be called. We're going to call it in the ring. And the winner of the match is going to be blank. So someone or Seth, well, someone has a chance to win the title. We've got a few second-time champions in there. As you can see, we've only ever had single title holders. We've got Felipe, who was the first champion. Kyler, who won the title the second time after winning the Peak of the Summit tournament. Didn't make any defenses and then lost the title straight away to Samael the Accuser, who got 4 defenses there as well. And at the moment, Seth Whitehead, current champion, only has 2 defenses to his name. So could be a pretty bad night for Seth. He could lose his title, and he basically could lose it to one of his arch rivals. Well, he's got a few arch rivals in that match as well. One of them being Kyler, the other one being Samael, and then the newest rival would have to be Callie Slick. So there's a lot on the line for Seth, and not looking too good for him. Let's just say that. Anyway, the other match on the card, we're going to go with the Ring Generals taking on our other tag team in Venomous Death. Give that 20 minutes as well. We can leave that one blank. I'm not really too worried about that one either. We're probably going to need to put some tag team titles into the picture fairly soon. We'll go with a singles match here. Let's have El Mítico take on Felipe. Never done this match before, so pretty happy with that. We'll give it 12. We'll leave it blank as well. I mean, I'm pretty happy with either of them winning at this point. We'll go finally one more singles match. We'll have... yeah, that works out really well. Mobstar taking on Rob Reynolds. Of course, a bit of a follow-up to the end of the last event. And of course, there's no Callie Slick, so we're going to give Mobster the loss, actually. Rob Reynolds pulling off a bit of a surprise victory. I actually like the... I like the look of this card, actually. Might be our best ever. I think it definitely will be. So let's have an angle. We'll go Samael on Menace. It's going to be before the main event. Then we'll go with El Mítico. We're not going to do a Kyler Adams promo. So there's El Mítico. Then we'll do... Oh, it's only 1 hour. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I thought I changed all the events. I must have forgotten to. My bad, guys. My bad. It's fine. We can just reduce this down to like 15 minutes or 14 minutes. And get rid of slow build. Alright, there we go. That kind of works. And we'll have this match work the crowd. Alright, let's run the show. Still a really good card, even though we had to chop a few things down. So we start off with a 45D. We've got Rob Reynolds defeating Mobstar in 10:08 by pinfall with a real deal rocker. And we also have Rob improving in performance skills. We then go into a 51D+. We have Venomous Death defeating the Ring Generals in 12:23 when Cobra defeated Marv Statler by submission with a Viper Vice. And apparently Marv sustained a bruised pectoral muscle. A little bit frustrating for him to pick up an injury, but that's alright. Hopefully not a botch. But yeah, also have Marv improving in flying skills. Okay, we then go into a 49D+ for El Mítico's angle. His match gets a 61C. You got El Mitico Jr. defeating Felipe Caballero in 10-16 by pinfall with a Northern Light Suplex. Also got Felipe here improving in technical skills. Samael's Menace Angle getting a 79B, which is crazy. His popularity must be through the roof at the moment. And finally, the main event. Okay, 60C for the main event. A little bit lower than I thought it would be. I thought we might be able to pull a C+. I was kind of hoping we would, to have our best ever rating. But I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh my god. Callie Slick defeated Angel of Mercy, Kyla Adams, Samael the Accuser, Sunny Wildside, and Seth Whitehead in 2014 when Callie Slick defeated Kyla Adams by pinfall with a slick back. Callie Slick wins the Summit North American title. Oh my god. I was not expecting that. But I feel like that kind of plays into the story, the whole story we got going on perfectly. And what a way to end the episode. And we also have Kyla Adams improving in performance skills as well, which is even better. Even better way to end the episode off. But yeah, I mean, Callie Slick, new champion. Okay, thank you, TEW, for producing that result. Let's end the show. We get a 49D+, another extremely, extremely good rating there. We're going to make a little speech. I'm thinking Rob has some morale issues, so we'll praise him. I think Felipe has some issues as well. And finally, we'll go with Cobra, because I think he might have some as well. So, praise these guys. And then we'll suss out. I mean, I'm curious to see what the prestige of the title is going to be as well. Now, let's have a look at this injury for Marv. It doesn't say that anyone actually caused the injury, so that's perfectly fine. He's currently working through it as well. But I think we'll give him a bit of a rest while he's out injured. We might be able to use Dean a little bit. Yeah, so you can see Cobra has morale issues. I mean, Bob Casey has morale issues as well. I might actually try and change Bob to... I mean, if we want to use him, we can. But let's change him to an occasional wrestler. I'm thinking if we put him there, he probably won't complain as much. I mean, Sonny has issues as well. Could have done with praising him. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, even Ernest has some issues now. Being left off the Gold Rush event. Probably should have used him, to be fair. And I would have actually used him had the show been an hour and a half like it was supposed to be. So I'll change that now for the future. And of course, we'll change the next event, which is Continental Divide, which is at the end of March. Alrighty. Anything else I need to do? Let's have a quick look at the popularity. Still at a 33, which is fine. Let's have a quick look at the edited data here. Now it was 0.2. I think we've had 2 shows since then, so gone up another 0.5. But I believe that it might have hit 0.3 from the D+ rated show we just did. And it got another 0.2 for the 46D that we got even before that. So I think it's 2 points for a D, and then 3 points, or 0.3 or 0.2 is what I'm trying to say. 0.3 for a D+ rated show. Anyway, let's have a look at the title. Still an 80B prestige there, which is, it's decent. We got a new champion as well. Callie Slick. Perfect way to end the episode. And this is our franchise players at the moment. We've got Ernest at number 1, Callie Slick at number 2, who has 39 D- popularity. What the hell? That is really high. I mean, Ernest is only at 32. Mercy's at 41. He's as popular in the Mid-South as he is in most regions in Mexico. Wow. I'm slightly confused. Tyler's up to a 30 E+ in popularity. Almidico, 27. Not too bad. Seth, probably, I mean, he's at 36 D-, which is pretty much what he was at the start of the month. Which is, you know, it's interesting. Let's have a look at Sunny. What's Sunny's popularity? 31 E+. And we haven't even really been pushing him, so... This is a guy we really have to try and push a little bit more. Austin Smooth. Almost a forgotten man to an extent. And I mean, he's really good. Alrighty, well, let's advance one more day, and we'll see the profit we made for the month of February. I'm assuming it's pretty good because I think we just had like 250,000 in the bank. And we can also have a look at the regional battles. So basically, I think it's sort of exactly the same. We finished second again in the Mid-South, and we finished third again in the Southwest. And there's a new booking position available, ELPF, who is a local company in Europe. Never mind. Okay. That's fine, and our profit is 70,000 for that month. Okay, I'm liking that. That's what I'm talking about. You know, if we can continue to grow that profit month on month, then I don't think, you know, venturing out into another region is going to be either be that difficult or be a real hindrance in our financial situation. That's perfectly fine. Anyways, that is going to wrap this episode up, guys. Make sure you smash the like button, as you have been doing. You guys have been smashing it recently. Pretty much every video gets about 14 or 14 plus likes, which, you know, didn't really happen when I was playing certain other games. We won't talk about that. But yeah, it's such a nice feeling to see that type of stuff. So if you'd smash the like button, please also make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Obviously, it's going to help you guys stay up to date with all the episodes coming out in the future. And like I said in the last episode, we've got all the TEW 2020 content coming out relatively soon. I'll be buying it on release, and we'll be smashing out the content together. And yeah, apart from that, guys, as always, take it easy, and I hope you enjoy the end of stat screen.